My name is Timmy. I am 15 years old, and this is my story. It was a rainy evening when my mom called my stepdad and I for dinner. When we got to the dining table, my mom served us dinner and we began eating. As we ate, my stepdad, Mr. John, started conversing. Timmy, how was school today? School was fine. Our school fees deadline is fast approaching, and our principal is requesting for it, I replied in a composed manner. Tell your principal that he should give us some time to pay, my mom cut in. After dinner, I returned to my room, and my cat Memo joined me in bed. Early in the morning, I left for school. On my way, I met Mama Favor, a trader who gives me foodstuffs on credit whenever my parents are late from work. Timmy, you're off to school this early? She asked. Mama Favor, good morning, I responded and continued to school. At school, I met my physics teacher, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam was my favorite teacher. He always encouraged me to strive for good grades and helped me overcome my fear of the physics subject. Uncle Sam, good morning, I greeted him with a smile. Good morning, Timmy, how was your night? He asked with a smiling face. It was fine, I replied. Go join your mates at the assembly ground, he said. I left immediately for the assembly ground. Our principal introduced a nurse to us, and we were being enlightened about puberty and sex education. The nurse cautioned us about not getting involved in relationships and indulging in premarital sex. The assembly came to an end, and each student went to their various classrooms. When I got to my classroom, I met Venita. Venita is my closest friend and my seatmate. Have you paid for your school fees? She whispered in my ears. Not yet, but my parents promised to pay soon, I replied, with my head facing down. She inquired about the biology assignment when our math teacher walked in. When I got to my street, I stopped by Mama Favor's shop and requested noodles, promising her my mom would pay when she returns. One fateful day, I was in the shower taking my bath when I heard our parlor door open. It seemed like somebody entered the house. I finished bathing, dried my body, and left the bathroom to check who it was. Then I stormed into my stepdad. He asked, "You're home?" pretending to be shocked. "Yeah, I came to wash up. It's our break period," I replied. "I came back to get my office document," he replied, while searching for it on his shelf. It seemed like he had been watching me while I was in the shower. He returned to his office with the forgotten document. Since that day, my stepdad has been staring at me lustfully. One afternoon, I was sitting in the sitting room and seeing a movie when my stepdad, Mr. John, came in and sat close to me. We sat close for some minutes, when suddenly I noticed a hand moving down my skirt in between my thighs. I forcefully withdrew myself and left for my room. I was reading, then I heard the sound of my room door opening. I wanted to speak when my stepdad locked lips with me and started undressing me. I was struggling with him, but he overpowered me. He forcefully pushed me to the bed and covered my mouth. He finally tore my nightgown when I couldn't get him off me. I was already half naked. He just pulled off his boxer, clipped my hands to the bed and forced himself on me. When he finished, he told me never to tell anyone anything, and if I did, he would deny it and send me out of the house. He left my room and I was shattered. I cried throughout the night. It was dawn and I was preparing for school when my stepdad gave me my school fees. I took it and left for school. That day we were having physics lecture. When Uncle Sam noticed that I wasn't paying attention to his lectures, he called my attention.
"Timmy, are you okay?"
"I'm fine, sir," I replied in a cracked voice.
"Stay behind during break time. We need to talk.
I heard the bell for break. I sat back in class. Then my seatmate Venita conversed with me. Timmy, you don't look good today. Is anything the matter? I'm fine. Uncle Sam is calling me. We will talk when break is over, I replied her. Uncle Sam came and sat close to me. He asked,
Timmy, is anything the matter? You look sick. Talk to me.
I wanted to say something, when suddenly remembered my stepdad's warnings. Uncle Sam, I am okay, I replied him. The bell rang and it was break over. The students were seen running to their classrooms. Uncle Sam was still trying to convince me to speak up. When the other students returned to the classroom, weeks passed and I started noticing some changes in my body. I missed period, started vomiting, my breast became tender, frequent urination, fatigue, and mood swings. One morning I rushed out of the house to vomit outside. My stepdad followed me immediately. He came outside and saw me vomiting. That day my mom wasn't at home. She left for the market that morning. He threatened me to be quiet about my condition. He immediately stepped out to get me abortion pills. I refused to take them, but he forced me. As I left for school that morning, I started noticing blood coming out of my skirt. I managed to reach my classroom and I passed out. I woke up and discovered that I was in the hospital. The first person I saw was my mom crying beside me and my stepdad consoling her. Timmy, who was responsible for that pregnancy? And who gave you an abortion pill? She asked in a furious voice. I could sense her anger from her voice. I don't know, I replied in a trembling voice. At that moment, my stepdad was shaking. I could see sweat dropping down from his cheek. Timmy, who got you pregnant? He pretended. Immediately, my mom broke down in tears and she broke the news to me. She told me that I had lost my womb and I wouldn't be able to conceive a child. She was still persuading me to tell her the truth. Then I pointed at my stepdad, Mr. John, who? She looked at the direction of my hand. John? She asked in a shocking voice. My stepdad, on the other hand, started denying it. I immediately broke down in tears. Mommy, Mr. John raped me. My stepdad bowed down his head in shame. My mom immediately called the police and my stepdad was arrested. Few months later, was proven guilty by the court and was sentenced to 15 years in prison.